The Swim Cadets, 80 years of tradition.
2, 3, 4, swim, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Synchronized swimming is a hybrid form of swimming, dance, and gymnastics that consists of swimmers performing a synchronized routine of elaborate moves in the water set to music. The world was first introduced to synchronized swimming in the 1930s by Catherine Whitney Curtis, who organized the Kay Curtis Modern Mermaid Show for the World Exhibition in Chicago. Although this was the first time synchronized swimming was introduced, the earlier form, water ballet, had been around since 1891, when the first recorded competition was held in Berlin, Germany. Synchronized swimming was officially recognized as a sport by the Amateur Athletic Union in 1941. Synchronized swimming then appeared at the Olympic Games in Helsinki in 1952, but was not officially recognized as an Olympic sport until 1984. The long history of synchronized swimming has many champions in it, and the Swim Cadets at Cleveland Heights High School plan to keep the tradition of beauty, art, and fun alive for many, many years to come.
The Swim Cadets have been a club at Cleveland Heights High School almost since synchronized swimming started on the scene, making it the longest running club with an 80-year tradition.
There are 5 officers that are swim cadets, and they basically run practices and put together the show, and then we usually have 2 advisors around there, and they kind of oversee things and communicate with the authority figures in the school building.
It's usually student run, 100% all the way. Our advisors are normally past swim cadets.
So there's usually 12 or 13 routines that we perform for the show, and it's the officer's job to write all of them and get them together and make them look presentable.
These officers and advisors are all female, harking back to the days of the old, where sports were for boys and the arts were for girls. This organization is piled high with tradition that extends all the way through to the very beginning of their organization.
It's definitely very tradition-based. Everything we do comes from a long legacy of people doing it before us, and our one advisor who was in Swim Cadets kind of a long time ago, she says that it's still the same feel and the same team as it was back then.
And we try and bring new things in to just keep it up, but there's definitely a lot of older things.
I know many past swim cadets, even they're in the 70s, and they love to come and they love to talk to me about it and just hear all the things that are exactly the same. So it is very based in the past.
The Swim Cadets have been considered a sorority by many outsiders, and they don't deny it. They even chuckle at the reputation they have earned.
Okay, so yes, it's similar to a sorority. A lot of people compare us to that. Just in that there's a lot of little not initiation rites kind of, but the first year that you're on Swim Cadets, there's so many surprises, and the older girls don't say anything about it, so when things come along, it's just super fun, super exciting, surprises, and then you learn the traditions, and then they're then passed down, which is kind of why it's so tradition-based, because it's so built up, each surprise.
Yeah, and the traditions and things, even the old girls look forward to them, every year. It's just something that you even sometimes forget about them, and then they come back, and you're really excited for them.
There's traditions kind of spattered throughout the whole season, but the last week right before the show is called Show Week, and it has all the traditions basically just up in one day, the last night of the show, and that's the best night ever. Cause just, I don't know, they're all secretive, but everything happens. So I don't know, I look forward to that night every year.
Yeah, that night usually gets us, it makes everyone realize how close you become during Swim Cadets. It's just each tradition and keeping everything's kind of a secret, it's exciting and it keeps you close together.
But while it is sorority-like, there are personal stories of how each girl joined the Swim Cadets.
Okay, so there's kind of two things. At the community pool Cumberland, there's a synchronized swimming team for little kids, and I grew up going to that pool, and I never was on the team, but like it was just something that's kind of known, I guess, around Cleveland Heights, that there's like synchronized swimming programs like available. And then also swim cadets that are in high school, when freshmen come in, recruit very intensely to the freshmen. Like they're just very adamant that like young girls that seem likely join the team.
Yeah, same for me. I've seen the Cumberland, like, they're the younger synchronized swimming team that they do over the summer, and it was something that I always thought was really entertaining. And I tried doing a swim team, I tried doing diving, and it never really stuck. And I overheard an announcement at this high school for the swim cadets, and I thought, why not give it a shot? And turns out I really liked it. So,
Two of my sister's best friends are swim cadets, so growing up, they always told me about how fun it was, so I had to do it when I came freshman year.
The Cleveland Heights Swim Cadets has not competed in the past and has previously been considered a club by the school administration. Now they're an officially recognized Cleveland Heights sport.
we're actually, in the moment, we're trying to find teams to compete against. We've found two fairly close that we're trying really hard to compete so that we can start winning things and stuff like that, because that's something Swim Cadets has always wanted to do since it ever started.
That's about it. There aren't many synchronized swimming clubs or teams around the state of Ohio.
But we've been around for 80 years, so that's pretty impressive.
Dash 2, 3, 4, lift 2, sink 2, sink 2, 3, 4, up 2, back 2, out 2, tub 2, window 2, switch.
The history of the Swim Cadets is a long and wonderful full one, making way for the future in competitive synchronized swimming. Some may consider the history an advantage, but the girls just feel honored.
Personally, one of my favorite parts is the history that goes with Swim Cadets. So in a way, I wouldn't call it an advantage, but it's just kind of an honor to be part of that long legacy and know that there were so many girls before you that experienced the same thing. So you're kind of part of a huge family. Not that you even know everyone, but just in that everything's connected through the traditions.
I wouldn't say advantage, but it definitely drives you to perform better, because it's been around a long time. You want to do it justice. You want to be just as good as when it started, or maybe even better. So I think it motivates you.
Things have changed. I mean, things evolve. When it first was created, students were allowed to do more, and there was more leverage, kind of. I mean, in the beginning, they had their own room. They would just go there during the day to hang out, and now it's kind of been pushed down a little bit, I would say.
Definitely, it's changed a lot, but still, it's stayed kind of the same, because when it first started, and what we've run into is that there used to be a lot of girls. There was a large number of girls, and now we've kind of gotten smaller, and it's down to 20 girls a year. So certain things that could have been done back then can't really be done now, but we're working really hard to bring the numbers back up and prove that we still deserve to be here, and that we're still the same, and we're still running.
Like Franny said, a lot of it just the culture of everything has changed, with liabilities and pools and people dying. I don't know. So a lot of we've had a lot of administration problems with being in the pool longer and just things like that. So some of our freedom has been, I don't want to say taken away, but just everything's changed just in 80 years. So we have to change with it.
The future has many things in store for the Cleveland Heights Swim Cadets as they look forward to the incoming freshman class and possible competition opportunities.
I don't think I would become an advisor, but I do know I'm going to college next year, so I told my parents that I'm going to pay for my plane ticket to fly home for the Swim Cadet show. I definitely want to come back and visit the girls and be there for some practices and just I don't know, not be part of it, but still wish I were part of it. So
I've definitely considered coming back as an advisor because I think it's something that's really important to me. It's something that I've just really come to enjoy, and definitely I'm looking forward to coming back and seeing a show and saying I've been a part of that and I know what they're doing, and it's something I just really look forward to.
Same with Franny. I don't think I could do an advisor position, but every year during like intermission of the show, all the old people come back and they like come into the locker room and they like talk for like a 10-minute intermission, and that's always really fun to see old people. So I'd love to come back.
Split, 2, 3, 4, clam, 2, 3, 4, lift, split, sink, 2, weight, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, up, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4, knee 2, up 2, knee 2, over 2, roll 2, 3, 4, down 2, 3, 4, crash.
Copy written by Samantha Clark. Interviews conducted at John Carroll University Recreation Center Pool by Matt Rebar. Sound, music, and bed by Anna Marie Barga. Narration by Gilbert Murphy. Interviews transcribed by Samantha Clark. Editing led by Matthew Rebar. Production and finalized by Samantha Clark, Matthew Rebar, Anna Marie Barga, and Gilbert Murphy.
This production was made possible by the Cleveland Heights Swim Cadets, John Carroll University, and the students of CO320 Audio Production.